went all out getting this production for this EP.
Go subscribe. Yeah, subscribe.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Brews and Reviews. It's knowledge. Droog blesses us again. This dude has been rapid fire releasing great quality hip-hop music. Yes, today I'm reviewing the second installment, The Wolf on Wall Street 2 from your Old Droog and the God Fahim. And I like what Droog has been doing. I think this is his fifth project in 1 year, almost a year to the date. We got The Wolf on Wall Street 1, and then we got the YOD Fahim, his other collaboration with the God Fahim, and then we got Time, then we got Spacebar, incredible projects at that. And he really changed his style because he used to take forever. I remember after PAX came out, he kept us waiting and waiting and waiting for a follow-up, but ever since he started hanging out with the God Fahim and Makhami, he developed their approach to releasing albums, which is just non-stop. So that is one good contribution that the God Fahim has made to music. The album kicks off with Wall Street with Briefcase. Nice chipmunk soul sample on this track by producer Fortes. And Fahim comes in with a really smooth flow as usual, although a little lackluster at the beginning. He does kick it in right around the time that he starts dissing album reviewers. I don't know if that's a shot at me because I definitely got plenty to say about the God Fahim, but Droog really shines with the metaphors on this. When he comes in, he says, "You all cap like a knee brace. Most cats in the game is straight deep fakes." And then he goes from spitting hard bars like that to giving us jewels of wisdom when he says, "You're only as great as the lengths people go to discredit you." But then he goes back to hilarious but thinker type of bars. Did y'all catch this one when he says, "No, I'm not in a union like D. Wade"? So a union is like a blue collar thing, and we're talking about Wall Street like a white collar thing. So he says he's not in a union, but like D. Wade, well, Gabrielle Union is Dwayne Wade's wife. So he is in a union, but Droog is no, he's not in a union like D. Wade. No Days Off, another track produced by Fortes, and Droog kicks this off talking about Danzig and the Misfits, and that was a hardcore punk band for y'all that don't know, but you should know that Droog's musical taste is very versatile. He mentioned another rock band, Stone Temple Pilots, on the previous track, and if you really know Droog like that, you've really been a Droog fan for a while, then you remember his rock-inspired Kinnison album. He goes on to say on this, "Cats can't even pronounce my name, talking about who I sound like, y'all sound like lames." This comes from the fact that people used to really compare Droog and his voice, the way he sounded, to Nas. In fact, so much so that when Droog first dropped his first project, people thought that it was a secret Nas project under an alias. To me, that's respect. I don't know if Droog should take that as an insult for people to actually think that you're Nas, but still, I get the point, even though I haven't even heard people make this comparison in a little while. Bull Market, we got a beat by Nicholas Craven, the great Nicholas Craven, and this for sure is the best beat on the album so far. Very intricate, a lot going on with keys, guitars, and vocal samples. Craven always brings the heat. And Droog matches that heat with several bars of his own, including this one. He says, "Listen, these ain't songs. I'm just talking to P, talking to Doom. I don't write rhymes. I write how I'm perceived when I walk in a room." Chubby Pockets, Conductor, we have a problem. You love to hear that producer tag because you know it's going to be quality. I've never heard a bad Conductor beat, and I wanted to give Conductor Williams Producer of the Year last year so badly. I wanted to give it, but I had to give it to Alchemist just based on sheer volume alone. But maybe this is Conductor's year, starting with this beat right here. And he delivers a very off-kilter track with no drums, forcing Droog and Fahim to slow it down a bit from what they've done so far. And we get a little wordplay from Fahim, and I like how subtle it is. He says, getting cream and staying afloat. As you know, cream is money, but cream also rises to the top, so he's staying afloat. I like that from the God Fahim. War Cry, really dope beat from Messiah music, almost Native American vibes with some crazy flute going on this. And they went all out getting this production for this EP. The production's fire all the way through. But I think I gotta admit that I like this beat even better than the Craven and Conductor beats. And this is also Fahim's best performance. He's obviously inspired by the beat. He says, I treat this like a fitness test on Mount Olympus. That's where the gods of ancient Greek times were from, by the way, Mount Olympus. And Droog throws out some crazy, obscure references and continues his expert double entendres. He says, you think you in the game, y'all dudes is Steve Bartman. Every album I keep sharpening. Whoever said I was a plant, y'all can see me at the garden. There's layers to this. Steve Bartman was that poor piece of shit who cost the Cubs from going to the World Series one year by catching a foul ball that should have been an out. And on that plant and garden wordplay, Droog's talking about if you think he's an industry plant, then you can see him at the storied venue Madison Square Garden. And this is great right here. I'm gonna drink to this track, and I am sipping on a Harpoon New England Pale Ale, a 5.5% hazy IPA. This has a really unique flavor for an IPA, just like the unique bars that we get from somebody like your Old Droog. I'm digging this beer, digging this album so far. Let's get back to it. War of Millionz, drum rolls on the beat. This dude, Messiah Music, can produce. It's funny that Droog talks about knowing how to write a hook on this track, which I agree with. Droog can write a hook, but funnily, there is no hooks on this entire project. Corporate Ladder, going with some smooth jazz on this, nice horns on the beat. And here, I gotta critique Fahim more. I've been holding back a little bit, but he takes away from this really good instrumental by just being basic. There's not much unique with his flow. He even has some good lines in this verse, but rap is more than lyrics. You gotta spit. And when he rhymes next to people like Droog, it just highlights how mediocre he really is. Because Droog is rhyming slow on this, but he's keeping things interesting. Like when he says, you niche, I'm Nietzsche. A niche is one small specialized area, but Droog is comparing himself to the great German philosopher Nietzsche. He also points out the bird sounds on this track a little later on, which is crazy because I didn't hear those really, I don't think, before Droog mentioned it, but now it's very obvious these birds chirping in the background of this beat. I really enjoyed this album. It's nothing innovative or new for either MC, but the lyrics Droog kicks and the beats especially hold this down. In fact, I think because of the beats, I like this one even a little bit more than the first Wolf on Wall Street. But imagine, just imagine if this was your Old Droog and Mokhami on this, instead of your Old Droog and the God Fahim. This would be an incredible project. And I hate to hate on the God like that, but compared to these dudes, he holds this project back. I mean, he's not terrible, but he's rhyming with some of the best MCs that are out right now. And to me, he's just not anywhere near that caliber. So tell me, please, what do they see in the God Fahim? I think I'm missing it, but I want to know. That being said, this is an enjoyable listen, and Fahim even has some lines on it. I'm going to give this an 8 out of a 12 pack. Thank you for watching my review of the God Fahim and your Old Droog, The Wolf on Wall Street 2. If you like this, go ahead and hit like now and hit me up in the comments. If you didn't like it, also let me know why in the comments. I drop hip-hop and hops-related content consistently, so subscribe to my channel now. And until I see you next time, keep buzzing.
Fucking man says subscribe.
But if he's on his channel saying that somebody's album is better than mine, unsubscribe to that motherfucker.
No, your album's the best, man.
There you go. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe.